Because of the pandemic, more and more people are invested in the conversation around schools and our children than ever before. So for the next 4 weeks, we're getting to know the people running to be the next state superintendent. Christy Diaz sat down with each of the candidates, starting with incumbent Richard Woods.
What do you believe is the biggest threat facing education right now?
I think overall, one of the things we have faced throughout Georgia continues to be our high poverty rate throughout the state. That puts a lot of stress on families. Coming from a family of low means, education was really the door that opened up many opportunities.
What about vaccines in school?
And I definitely do not support the mandates, but I encourage, getting the vaccine. For myself, I was vaccinated and yet caught a very serious case of COVID-19 in August. But that was a choice that I made. I think that we have to look at that. That really is a family decision on what to take, and especially when it comes to children, it should be left up to the family.
What is your position on critical race theory, whether it should be taught in schools?
But I would say any divisive type language or content really does not benefit us in public education. Now, it does not mean that we do not teach or avoid controversial things in our history. If you look at our standards, we talk about slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, Trail of Tears, the Holocaust, but I think it's in its proper historical content. But I think also teaching about American exceptionalism, how we've overcome and actually improved as a nation.
How well do you work with those you disagree with?
Well, I would say that obviously I get along pretty well. I did receive the most votes of anyone in the last election in 2018, so that meant I had a lot of crossover. I think that what I found out is that, for myself, as long as we're focusing on kids and putting their best interest forward, I tend to get along pretty well with anyone.
So you are in your 7th year, I believe,
Yes.
Second term. You notoriously fly under the radar, but what have you done in your role as superintendent in these last 2 terms that should convince voters that you deserve a round 3?
We focus on kids. That's one of the things that I look back on where I think we lost our way prior to coming into office. Teaching and education became more about the test than actually our kids. Cut back on the amount of testing we've done and really just promoted opportunities for kids, things like STEM and STEAM or foreign language opportunities, career tech, expansions, and we've been very successful with that throughout the years.
And this was just a small snippet of that conversation that ranged from teacher burnout to budgets. You can watch the full interview on our website, 11alive.com.